and welcome to our new BONITA'S kitchen. And we have more to come, of course, but right now we're just setting up our new kitchen, our new scenes that you guys will be watching with us over these next few, I'm going to say, months and hopefully years. So today we're going to be making a delicious pinwheel onion rolls. So now what I'm going to be using in this recipe is four onions, and I got 2 red and 2 yellow or white onions, we'll call them. And I got them cut in rings, and some is cut a little bit off on the side, or slanted, I should say. Cut it whatever way you want, because what we're going to do is fry that up, get it nice and caramelized, adding in some salt, pepper, and onion powder, and of course frying it up with some butter and oil. So pretty much what we're going to do is put in about 2 tablespoonfuls of butter or margarine, whatever you got available, and put your frying pan on to a medium to high heat, and we're going to get frying on these onions. And again, you pick the onions that you want. I like those, and I'm using right now 4 of them and getting them nice and caramelized and just feeling the love. Hey, Ray?
You better believe it.
Okay, so let that fry nice there. I'm going to add in these seasonings, and right now I'm using salt, pepper, and onion powder. I know I got, well, I'll share the recipe with you, but about a teaspoonful of the salt and pepper, and then maybe about the salt and the onion powder, and probably half a teaspoonful of pepper. But you do it to taste when you fry up your onions. If you want more, that's fine. So what we're going to do now is get back and work on our pastry. But before I do that, I want to do a big shout out to our sister-in-law and your brother for letting us do our shows out of their kitchen for the last couple of months there. We surely appreciate it while we were getting a new look put on our new kitchen.
And it was definitely down by the sea. Down by the
sea, for sure. Now, let that again fry up and caramelize. So we get 2 cups of all-purpose flour in there, half a teaspoonful of sea salt, and 1.5 teaspoonfuls of baking powder. We toss that through, put my plate out of the way, and I got a little small amount of the flour taken out of that to work it all together. And we're going to be tossing in there as well 1/4 cup of shortening. You could use tender flake or Crisco, whatever you got available. Put it into the flour and pinch it in together. So just pinch the shortening into the flour until you feel that it's all in there and it's crumbled. And then I'll tell you what to add in there next. So let's just have a little check on these onions, because I don't want them to burn up. I just want them to caramelize, and just look at them. Are they coming along just delicious? I like to have that on a piece of toast, though, would you reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe we should change this recipe to
we'll get a homemade slice of bread, onions, cheese. I
know, we'll call it onion toast.
There you go, sounds good.
We'll go back to our pastry.
Yeah.
So now we're going to gradually toss in there about 1/2 cup of milk, and you use whatever milk that you enjoy drinking, I'm going to say, and just mix that in through until it's all incorporated. And then we're going to form this into a ball and roll it out. After you've got it pinched together, not overworked. You don't want to overwork your pastry, never, because you'll end up making it tough, and that won't be no good. And so I'm going to put that down onto my board, and what we're going to do here now, we're going to roll this out. But before I do, I got to get the onions off the stove and to let them cool down totally. So pretty much, well, you could use the same bowl, but I cleaned it out first. Only had onions in it, of course, and onions is okay raw. And put the sauteed onions into the bowl, and now we got to let this come to room temperature before we use it in the pastry, but we'll show you that as we get to it. So back to our pastry. So pretty much all we're going to do here now is roll this pastry out to a rectangle shape, the same way you would do if you're making cinnamon rolls. I'm going to say I have it that thick, about 1/4 of an inch thick, but I have it where it's longer. So I'm going to do that, show you what that looks like. Now, working with pastry is almost like working with Play-Doh. You can have fun with it, you could work with it and cut it. So I'm going to cut down the side of this to get this much off, because I'm not going to be able to roll it perfect as much as I'd like to. Fill in the spots that need it. You can even take the rest of this and sort of put it into the dough or the pastry and roll it in like this. So that's all we need to do there. Now I'll show you the next step. So that's just a few simple steps there now, and I mean, anyone that loves pastry is going to love this recipe. The onions is nice and caramelized. I got the oven preheating at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So now back to assembling this delicious pinwheel onion rolls. So there's no perfect way of spreading this out. You can just take the onions and go as close to the end of each section as possible, because we're going to be rolling this like the same way you would your cinnamon rolls. So you want to have equal amount of onion in each portion, and when it's baked, of course, I'll show you what you can do, a little trick to kind of make it that way, to cut the ends so it don't, some have onions and some not have onions. So just spread it out that way. Now, if you want to, this is the time that you can add a small amount of seasonings again, not a little drizzle of oil or butter, whatever works for you. I should get the rest of this here. Get all of the onions, Raymond? Get it all in there, or leave it there for you to have.
That's the tasty, good old stuff.
I know, right? And start from the end closest to you and start rolling it up like this. Pretty much just keep rolling it outwards and forming it into a nice roll. And continue doing it until you get to the end. And that's all you need to do there. After you've rolled it, just kind of pat the sides like this, just to bring it in a little bit. And we only need about, I'm going to say, ½ inch.
A smidgen.
Probably ½ inch. You don't need it very, very big, because it's going to rise a little tiny bit, and just put out onto a cookie sheet, lined it with parchment paper. I always like to put a piece of parchment paper on there. Oh, it's not all the ways cut, so that you know, it won't burn and such. But just look how lovely that looks. The onions all the ways through, and I'll continue doing this and show you when I got them all done. All right, so this end piece here, put this on the bottom, so you got the not so perfect at the bottom there, and you can't really notice it. And this makes 12. And any extra onions that came off, put it on the top. And we're going to be putting these 12 of these delicious pinwheel onion rolls in the 400 degrees Fahrenheit oven. But before we do, we're going to give them a little egg wash. I got a pinch of salt in here and 1 large egg. I got a 1/4 cup of milk. You can also use cream if you don't have, or if you want to use the cream or the milk, it doesn't matter. So whisk this together so as the egg is fully beaten. And then we're going to be doing an egg wash over the top of these. Just put a little brushing over the top. So now I'm going to be putting mine in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's baked. Oh boy, they smell delicious. Now I'm going to bring them to my countertop. Oh boy, they smell amazing. I can't wait to have one. But before I do, we're going to glaze them now with some melted butter. Of course, everything goes well with butter. And I'm going to show you that. Before I do, I want to put some hot water into that cup there with some mint tea that I want to have with this during. So pretty much you could use the brush or you can pour it over. I'm just going to put a little drizzle over each one, and pretty much this is optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I feel having that extra butter over the top with the caramelized onions and that delicious flaky pastry, I'm telling you, 2 thumbs up before I even have it, because I know it's delicious. So now let's put them on the cooling rack before I display them. See how nice they are on top. And this is the bottom, nice golden brown, but not burnt. So, no, Raymond, I know you want to reach in.
Too hot?
Too hot, yeah. I would wait for a couple of seconds. Even though you can add these hot, you can serve these hot, or you can serve them room temperature, or you can take them right out of your fridge and have them. I'm going to put this one on my plate, and I will give you a plate there now, Raymond. So I'm just going to let that...
I was going to say, I'll sneak that one like you.
You could, yeah. I'm just going to let that sit there for a moment, move my pan, and then I'm going to show you a little dip that I'm going to put together and assembled on a nice plate. So pretty much all I got here is about 1/4 cup of sour cream. You could use a plain yogurt, Greek yogurt. I got about 1/4 cup of this sweet chili sauce. You could use a hot sauce. I got some salt, pepper, onion powder, and just mix it together, and that'll give it a nice little dip for this. It'll give it that, I'm going to say, sweet, sour, savory sort of taste. It kind of blends in with this anyway. Also, you can serve these with a nice bowl of soup, or you can add them as appetizers for your card group, for a family get-together, which that's what I like doing. And just put it on a nice display plate like this, and just put it out on the table with some steep tea. Now, how good is this? Yum. So I'm just going to put a little dab of that there. Now, you use the dipping sauce that you like, because absolutely this could go with anything or just on its own. I'm going to have a little taste with the dipping sauce. Oh my goodness. The flakiness of this crust.
Too good to eat.
The taste of that caramelized onion.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Drop the plate, delicious. Raymond, yours is there. I know you're wanting to grab it. I cannot wait for you folks to make this recipe. And again, to all of our viewers out there that is looking for that perfect, I'm going to say, appetizer or starter for a meal, this is it. Too good to eat. So I'm going to leave the recipe with you below this link. I know I say it every time, and I just wanted to remind you, it's an arrow pointing down or see more. Also, you can visit us on our website, www.BONITA'Skitchen.com. You can pop by on our Facebook page. We usually share our new recipes, up and coming recipes, events that's happening, things that's special to us that we want to share with you guys. And of course, you can send me an email at bonita'skitchen@gmail.com. I can't wait to finish this. It's so tasty. I want to do a big shout out as well to our paid members. Thank you for supporting our channel, and we've been streaming our videos for now 10 years. We got a lot of old videos up there that we're open to bring to life again so you guys can see them. Also, we'd like to thank our subscribers that you've been following us for these past 10 plus years, and we welcome our new subscribers. We post every Sunday, and we thank each and every one of you for stopping by and enjoying our recipes. So we're not going to keep you any longer, take any more of your time. We surely know it's precious. Welcome again to our new kitchen, and thank you for joining us. And on behalf of myself, Raymond, and our team, and from our kitchen to yours, you have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Join us by the sea, a journey in culinary. Always an open door. Bonita's kitchen to yours. Bonita's kitchen.
And don't forget to join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.